Bonjour mon ami, and welcome to the south of France, where it's not only sunny and beautiful but also bitterly cold today on this December morning. So you might ask, why have I brought you here? Well, for one very good reason. It is the perfect place for the relaunch of the Alpine brand. So we have here the A110, I'll get to that in a second. For any of you who don't remember or don't know of Alpine, they were a car company originally founded in the 1950s, known for making lightweight sports cars, and due to popular demand, they are back. It's a French brand owned by the Renault group, but it's very popular not only here but around the world. In fact, just a moment ago whilst I was parked up, a nice French chap in his Cayenne GTS pulled over and said, yes, very nice, very beautiful car. So it has a following. Let's dive into the car and have a bit of a closer look. So, do you like it? Well, too bad, you can't have one. This is the Premier Launch Edition, and they're making 1,955 units to mark the year of Alpine's birth. But all of those units were immediately snapped up within the first week. So you can't have one of the Premier Editions, but you can have one of the standard models, which will be coming to the UK in the early part of 2018. At the moment, I know there's two different packs you can get, the Pure Pack and the Legend Pack. The Pure Pack being quite similar to this one, and the Legend having more of a GT focus. So let's talk a bit more about the car. It's a lightweight sports car, and everything about its design echoes that nature. We're looking at 252 PS, which means a 0 to 60 time, or a 0 to 100 kilometers time of 4.5 seconds, which is pretty sharpish. Weight-wise, we're looking at 1,100 kilograms, so quite a light car. And the lengths they have gone to save weight in this car are quite extraordinary. I'm going to point out some of those nitty-gritty features to you as we explore around the car and on the inside as well. Some things to note about the car: the underfloor is extremely flat, and that is coupled with a rear diffuser, which in tandem generates an awful lot of downforce, and that helps to eliminate the need for a top deck spoiler, which not only adds weight, but it alters the form and flow of the car. And something very important to bringing back this car was to trace its roots back to the original A110 Berlinetta that Alpine produced in the late 60s, early 70s. So you'll notice a few features shared between the two of them, notably this bonnet crease here, which comes down and separates along the nose line. We also have the two sets of headlights, the main lamps and auxiliary lamps on both sides. And additionally, on the sides of the car, you'll notice this crease line here, which is also mirrored from the earlier car. And yeah, I think it all looks very stunning together. The front particularly reminds me of a bit of a snake. So the auxiliary lamps would be the nostrils, and these would be the eyes. I think it has a bit of a snake quality to it, and that's quite cool. It fits the winding mountain road type of car vibe. So before my fingers turn the same colour as the car in this cold weather, let's jump inside and have a look at the interior. So, the interior. I personally think the trim is very nice in here. Especially look at that blue in the sunshine, that is beautiful. And to go with it, there's the padded leather, which is very nice. And yeah, it's just quite an excellent fit and finish. Obviously, with a lot of these lightweight sports car manufacturers, you might be expecting some of that quality control to not be quite up to scratch of the big manufacturers, but because Alpine is part of the Renault group, all of those extra quality control, delivery, service, all of those extra bits that a large company can provide are on hand, and Alpine themselves just focus on making a great car. One thing I cannot leave out is the logo. Every time I look at it, I can only think of the Avengers. So I feel a little bit like budget Tony Stark driving this. But let's talk about some of the weight saving. So one of the big things is these speakers here. On most car speakers you have a hexagonal grille. They got rid of that because it was too heavy. Also inside you can just about see there's like a weave, so that is a linen cloth which is sandwiched between two sheets of fiberglass, and again they've done this because not only does it provide excellent sound quality but the weight saving as well, and the magnets for the speakers are also massively reduced in weight. So the absolute total of that speaker, and the two ones up there on the dash as well, the little tweeters, the whole weight of the system is less than 1 kilogram. Now, that's pretty ridiculous. 1 kilogram for a 4-speaker system. More weight saving, so the central console here is quite narrow, and they've just got rid of things that you don't need on there. It's only the buttons that you really want. There's no extra faffing around. This is quite a nice touch as well, a little pouch here to store your wallet or your phone or whatever you may have to put in there. These switches are very Lamborghini-esque, I would say. It's quite cockpity. I like that, and the seats as well are a really interesting design. So we've got a mix of microfiber cloth here and the padded leather. Again, really nice design, but again some of the weight saving that's gone into it is really quite incredible. You might be able to see there that the seat is quite narrow. It's a small cockpit in here, so that goes into it, but the sides here are actually quite flexible. So if you're planning on having a few extra helpings of turkey this Christmas, you can still fit into the car. So they've saved some rigidity there, which they've kept in the back of the seat, so it's still very secure and strong, but they've not gone overboard where they didn't need to, and they've saved space and weight. So yeah, very, very clever design. This is quite cool as well on the dash. If you open the door, it shows you which door is open, and it will also show you the boot as well. If I just pop the front, there we go. So if you're accidentally driving along with the door slightly open or boot open, you're going to know about it. In fact, why don't I show you the boots, because there are two in this car. So here we have our first boot space. Now it's not exactly what you'd call deep, but it is deep enough to fit a flight case in, so you can have two flight cases side by side in the front there. And then additionally we have a little trunk boot. So I have my bag in there at the moment. It does actually go quite far down in the sides here, so there's a bunch more room in the back there. So definitely more than an Audi R8, we can say that with confidence. And enough for, yeah, just a little weekend trip away with the missus. Go on a nice little drive, all you need. So, without any more ado, let's get on with the driving. Weight saving and space saving has gone into the thought and design of this car. Sport button here on the steering wheel. That does all of your modes. You press it once to go into sport, press it again to go back to comfort, and a small press and hold for track. From comfort to sport, you're looking at slightly sharper chassis, faster gear changes, more exhaust noise, and a bit of ESC reduction. Then if you press and hold the button for a long time, you're going to go into track mode, which is ESC off, and that's recommended for track use only. However, I'm told there is a track in these parts, so we will get to test that out for ourselves, which is very cool. Along those same lines, we have 3 buttons down here for drive, neutral and reverse, pretty standard, but there's no park. We don't need that because we press and hold neutral to go into park, and we don't need a button to change between automatic and manual because we just press the drive button, a little blue ring appears, and we are now in manual, so we can drop it down through the 7-speed DCT gearbox. We're in 7th now. Let's see how fast I can go down the gearbox. So, okay, we're in 7th, and go. Down to 2nd, like that pretty much. So, good points there. Now, one quite interesting engineering decision on this car was to not so much focus on eliminating body roll, but to take advantage of the car's double wishbone structure to accentuate the camber when the car is loaded up. So as you turn into a corner, the car rolls over slightly, loads up the weight, but because of the movement of the double wishbone, the tyre that's on the loaded edge stays very flat to the ground, and in fact can run up to 2 degrees of camber when cornering. So it's almost a skiing type feel. As you put pressure on an edge when you're skiing, you can load up and get more grip out of that edge. So I'm told it's like that. Now we're heading towards some really nice mountain roads, and we'll be able to try that for ourselves. So we're going to find out. This is very, very nitpicky, but listen to the indicator. I don't know, that just, there's something not quite right about that. I almost can't put my finger on it. It feels a little bit flimsy. That's the best I can do to describe that. But like I say, extremely nitpicky. So we're approaching these supposedly very, very nice mountain roads now. So we're going to see what this car can do. Flat underbody with a diffuser, no spoiler, double wishbone, produces extra camber, very lightweight car. Should be interesting. Oh yes, the roads are appearing on the sat-nav. Get an eyeful of that. When you lift off the throttle and it pops out the back, it's very machine gun-esque. It's ba 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 ba. Really like that, that's cool. Right, we are going left here. Yes, this looks like it's going to lead to some nice roads. Listen to that engine sing, it is lovely. And we do have to be slightly cautious because this is quite a narrow and bumpy road. Woo! What a road it is. And at the moment, it appears I'm the only one on it. As you do, just cash. Here. Maybe I literally just went past it. Yep, that's it. Very easy to miss. This you believe it, is the entrance to a circuit. Not exactly Silverstone or Spa, is it? Oh my god, this is narrow. I would not want to bring Tim's GTR down here. Actually, I would. Forget that, I totally would. There it is then. There's the circuit, or at least part of it. Here we are at the circuit then, lovely line of Alpines behind us, and there is the track. So we're just going to do a quick sighting lap, head out in a minute.
Bye.
There goes Sevi D. He's already had his little briefing in French, special VIP session. But yeah, let's get briefed and then head out. From a standing start, it's a bit less. Very late turn in here for a late apex. It's a long hairpin. Then applying the power gradually up to third as we hit the exit. Back over to the right for the chicane section. And hard on the brakes, down to third, down to second. Get it in here to the apex. Stay in the middle of the track before whipping it in. Bit of a slide there, we held it though. And then on the brakes again. This is a really funny section of corners. Right between the gears as well, it's a bit awkward. And then top of the hill as well. Really funny little section. Down to second for this super tight final bend. So, first flying lap then. Look how fast this first corner is. We're up to fifth gear, 170 kph, 180, 190, 200, and brake. Fifth, fourth, third, second, turn it in, aiming for that late apex. There she is. Power on the throttle, up to third. That's a really awkward gear change there. Fourth, brakes again. Third, second. Carry a little bit more speed in this time. Tyres are squealing. Hold off on the throttle. There we go. We killed the slide that time. And brakes again. Little bit playful. If you were trying to throw this car around, you really could. Obviously at the moment, trying as hard as I can to keep it in a straight line. All four wheels working as they should. Track. It's got all sorts of elements to it. I can tell you immediately, I've really enjoyed this car. It is exactly what it says on the tin. That's probably the best expression I can use. You know, it's not one of these cars where it tries to be a super sports car, but it's actually a big fat GT car. This is exactly what it's designed to be. It's a lightweight, fun sports car that you take on road trips or little cruises up the mountains. It's maybe not as hardcore as like Seb's Lotus Sport Cup, you know, things like that. It's got more creature comforts than that, sat nav, all sorts of things, USB plugs, a stereo system that's good. So it's not quite as hardcore as something like that, but it's a lot cheaper, it's a hell of a lot of fun, decent luggage space considering, and yeah, bit of a bargain really. I think it's really well put together machine for what it is. But here we are, back to the pits. I will catch a breather and then I will get back to you. Well, that was an awful lot of fun. The cars are back parked up behind us again. What an awesome experience to just thrash a car around the track, the perfect sort of car for it, lightweight, good handling, decent amount of power, and to have Seb Delaney and Sam from Seen Through Glass to play around with as well. What a fun day. Loved the Alpine A110, really good little car for its range, for its price bracket, for its niche. So started out very, very cold and it's now nice and sunny, just wearing this jacket. I now have a 1 hour drive back to the hotel to enjoy a bit more of the scenery in the car. But I will leave you for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, whether you're a new watcher, a new subscriber, or you're part of the squadron who is here every day. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you click that bell to be notified of when new videos go live, and I will see you again very soon. Cheers, guys.